Wind Phone by Bernardo Solano, draft in progress, February 7th, 2020. A semi-desert. The sky is a projection screen. There is a telephone that is not connected to any wires. It is a rotary phone, the kind with a dial that turns in a circle and makes clicking sounds as the numbers pass. The phone rings. It rings. It rings. It feels as if years pass. A lizard becomes apparent. Its gender is fluid. The lizard speaks.
I think the sun's angry with me. I sit, and sometimes I flick my tongue. I scurry through brush in search of a meal, but it's been a long time since I found anything to eat. I think I might be starving. I think it might be changing my mind, how it works. My sense of logic, my sense of space, my sense of time. Certainly my sense of taste and smell. They're all different than they used to be. Anyway, I think I am not the same as I was 100 years ago. I think I was named after a Latin American author, but I don't remember his name or hers. I'm not sure if I'm a male or a female. Maybe I forgot what I am. But anyway, who would name a lizard? I knew a turtle whose name was Mel Gibson. Ba-dum-bum. You see, this is what I'm talking about. My mind. My mind is slipping away, floating, melting, drying up like a plastic bag in the desert sun. Oh, yeah. The sun. Sun. Sun.
The phone rings again. This time it is only one ring. It is a long and sustained tone that lasts for a very long time. When it ends, the lizard scurries away. Dust settles on this desert landscape as more time passes. Sound of a car pulling off the road and coming to a stop. Car door opens and closes. A young person enters. They're a little rough around the edges. Goes to the phone, dials, waits, hangs up the phone. Walks back to the car, opens and closes door. Car turns on, drives away. The lizard has seen the whole thing. Time passes. A middle-aged woman enters. No car has apparently brought her here. Has she been walking for a long time? She looks at the phone, doesn't seem surprised to see it here in the middle of the desert. She picks up the receiver, listens for a ringtone. We don't know if she hears one or not. She dials. She thinks for what seems like an eternity before deciding to speak.
Hi, honey. It's me. Surprised to hear my voice? Me too. It's been a while. How are you? Yeah, well, okay. I got my hair done. It looks nice. Maybe I'll send you a picture, huh? English lit. That's what he ended up studying. Graduated last week with honors. I know, right? What's he going to do with a degree in English lit? Write novels? Write reviews of novels? Reviews of other people's reviews of novels? I read more now. Average a book a month. So it kind of depends how many pages are in it. I do less of that now, seeing how many pages there are before I decide to read it. Sort of prefer the long ones now. Lets me know I'm going to be there a while. Comforting. I know I could take years to read it if I wanted to. If I wanted to live with them longer, the people in the book. I have a lot of time now. Remember when I didn't? I was always in such a rush. Run to this meeting, run to that appointment, run to the grocery store, run to the airport, run to... I never ran to you, though, did I? No, I never did. And you never mentioned it. But I know it hurt you. Deep down, I knew what I was doing. I knew.
It has become too painful. She hangs up, exits. The lizard makes an appearance. It scurries, it lounges, it undulates, it preens, it plays with rocks and tumbleweeds. Yes, this is a dance. The wind blows. The phone rings. No one is there to answer it.
What is that sound? Hurts my ears. Well, I don't actually have ears, but if I did, it would hurt them.
The phone rings change in tone and quality.
Sounds like patience running out. Like a tumbleweed crossing the desert. Like boiling rabbit. Like... The time I ate my weight in crickets, threw them up, and ate them again. I did that over and over until there was nothing left to eat. Damn it. Now I'm hungry.
The lizard leaves in search of something to eat. The ringing phone becomes very loud, then goes silent. Time passes. A teenage boy, a teenage girl, and their mother enter. The teenage boy is clearly the only one who wants to be here.
This is so stupid. You're a moron.
Just don't say that to your brother.
It's okay, Mom. I don't mind.
Yeah, well, in that case, you're also an idiot and completely insane.
Yeah, you can think that if you want.
Asshole.
That too.
Okay, stop it before you say something you're going to regret. It's so far away from everything. It's not a house for miles.
It's the desert, Mom. It's what deserts do.
Deserts don't do, they are.
I rest my case.
Mother and girl look at the phone booth.
So, this is it?
I didn't know phone booths existed anymore. I mean, outside of old movies.
And how did you find this again?
I told you, on the internet. I was doing research.
Yeah. What did you type? Freaks who talk to the dead?
No, I didn't type that. I mean, it was buried pretty deep in a post someone made. I doubt anyone else saw it. Don't you want to try? You said you would.
But okay, that was before I drove 5 hours to get here and see all this.
All what?
The fact that this is the perfect place to get raped and killed and dismembered and buried in a shallow grave.
Oh, now look who's insane.
I'm serious. Mom, tell me that isn't what you're thinking.
Well, not exactly that.
But you hate it, right? You hate being here? You hate that you let your idiot son talk you into coming?
No.
But kinda yes. I know you well enough to know what that means.
No, it's just... I don't know if I'm ready.
You are.
What? Don't humor him. This whole thing is a stupid fantasy, and you agreed to come only because you're hoping that dumbass here will come to his senses once he realizes nothing is going to happen when you pick up that phone.
Okay, that's a pretty big assumption.
Well, it's a correct one.
Mom, you promised.
I know, honey.
You know what? Fuck this. I'll be in the car. And you better hope I don't suffocate in there.
Girl exits. The mother is clearly torn between her two children, not to mention her own confused feelings.
Mom, just try it.
I'm sorry, honey. I can't. Come to the car when you want.
The mother exits. The boy is clearly disappointed, but he isn't going to walk away from this empty-handed. He goes into the booth, picks up the receiver, dials.
Dad? Dad, no one believes you're there. But I know you are. I know you can hear me. I want you to know something. I know you messed up. Mom doesn't talk about it, but others do. Man, you really messed up. I don't get why you did it. I mean, you must have known what you were doing, or maybe you didn't. Maybe people never know what they're doing. But, I forgive you. I might be the only one who does. I don't care. Dad, say something. Dad.
The girl enters.
Hey.
Bye, Dad.
He hangs up the phone. He and the girl exit. Clouds fly by, the sun sets and rises. Wind, rain, other acts of nature. A man in his late 20s enters. He approaches the phone warily, circles it several times, steps inside the booth, looks at the phone for some time before picking up the receiver, dials a number he knows by heart. He listens.
I know what you did.
He hangs up forcefully, steps out of booth, begins to leave, changes his mind, returns. He dials the number again.
I don't know if you're there. I don't know where you are. You sure as shit aren't in heaven, and God knows you're not here. Nikki's having nightmares. He wakes up screaming, calling for you. Sometimes it seems like you're right there, staring at him or something. It's getting creepier by the day. I'm letting him sleep with me in the bed. I don't know how to help him. Don't know what to say. You would. You took the car. Now I have to take the bus. I hate the bus. Yesterday, this guy sat next to me. He had this tattoo. It was of the Virgin Mary in full scuba diving gear. It was so big. I couldn't take my eyes off it. Finally, the guy couldn't take it anymore, and he asked if he could help me. I guess he was expecting me to give him some shit about it, because he was surprised when I said it was beautiful. And when I asked why she was a scuba diver, he almost started to cry. And I said, "Hey, look, I'm sorry if I don't know exactly what about." And anyway, he got real quiet, and he says that scuba diving was his mom's favorite thing to do. Even though she had never actually gone scuba diving, she just like talked about it all her life. One of those bucket list kind of things. So he thinks his mother was a saint. She loved scuba diving, and so tattoo. I cried over a tattoo. Yeah, well, like you give a shit about this. Like you give a shit about anything. I know what you did.
He hangs up, exits. A hawk flies high overhead. Maybe we see it, maybe just its shadow. The lizard enters, becomes aware of the hawk, instantly freezes.
Holy shit. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. Please don't see me.
Apparently, the hawk doesn't see the lizard and flies away. The lizard does its version of giving the hawk the finger.
Asshole.
The sky changes color. The phone rings. The lizard takes note of it as a shifting image slowly plays across the sky. There is a voice attached to it.
Is anyone there? Hello? Is anyone listening?
There?
Anyone hear?
Hello?
Anyone listening?
Is anyone there?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Anyone listening?
Is anyone listening?
Anyone hear me?
Can anyone hear me?
The lizard flicks its tongue. The young person enters, looks at their cell phone, realizes they don't have a signal, puts the cell phone away, looks at the phone booth. Sound of a car pulling over and parking. The young person considers running away, but where? It's just desert in every direction. The middle-aged woman enters, sees the young person. They both consider leaving, but both decide to stay. Neither gets any closer to the phone booth.
Good morning.
Hey.
Think it's gonna be a hot day? I think it's gonna get hot.
Maybe.
Where are you coming from? I'm from Lancaster, high desert.
Okay.
High desert. Sounds like we're in a Western. Only need some tumbleweed blowing by, maybe a lizard, horses' hooves in the distance, blazing hot sun, gunslingers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful though, the desert?
What's so beautiful about it?
Well, no big trees, no curves in the road, no houses, no driveways, no bed and breakfasts run by retired hippies with their 23 types of tea, 6 different kinds of coffee brewed, espresso drip, whatever that Turkish way of making it is, and let's not forget Keurig. But out here, none of that, just air and sun and land, dust, rocks, nothing to distract you, to keep you from your thoughts, the lives you lived, the people in those lives. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Are you Hispanic?
What?
Oh, I mean Latino. Or is it that new one? It was on the news, Latin something, a letter, I think. Are you?
What does it matter?
Well, if you were, I would thank you.
Oh, yeah? What for?
For the thousands of years that went into making you.
I don't.
Your culture, your people, they can be, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just nervous.
Yeah, you said that.
It's my husband. He finally had to go into hospice. This was after a series of caretakers, not bad people, but not exactly what we needed. They would talk to us, share smiles, looks of concern, but I was always aware that it was a job, that they used to take care of the rent, car payments, groceries, laundromats, beer, bourbon, turns at the firing range, dollar bills in the basket at church, cable to watch the ball games.
What's all that got to do with?
Hospice. When he went into hospice, well, our money was pretty much gone by then. Couldn't go to one of those 10,000 a month places. It was taking so long to find something we could afford. I was afraid he was going to take me with him. You see, I couldn't look after him in the house anymore. It was too, I didn't want to be the captain anymore. Not me. I wasn't going to go down with the ship. Right. Latino, whatever the letter is. I finally found a place we could afford. Tiny place, just a few beds, no fancy nothing. The beds were in little bedrooms, barely bigger than a closet, and a living room with a few easy chairs. One TV, one table in the kitchen. That's where they cooked all the meals. Front yard was a patch of dried up grass. But you know what? Didn't matter. None of it. Because the people who ran it was a Latino something family. A mother, a father, a daughter, and a cousin, I think. They would take turns looking after my husband and the other two people who were there, took care of them like they were their own husbands, own wives, own cousins. No hurry to do anything. If it took him 2 hours to empty his bladder, that was okay. They would maybe chat, maybe tell jokes, maybe just sit and wait quietly for him to do his business. They didn't look at their phones, didn't tap their feet to make a point, didn't do anything but be there. You know? Be there. The way I couldn't.
She starts to cry.
You're a trip.
I sound like a foghorn. Thanks, I guess. So,
Their attention returns to the phone booth.
have you?
Not exactly.
I have.
Yeah?
You're too polite to ask, aren't you?
I'm not polite. I'm just whatever.
The answer is no. No one answered. Nobody talked but me. But it didn't feel that way. It felt like someone was listening.
So you think there was somebody on the other end?
I don't know. Not really. Jury's still out. I'm not going to ask who you're calling.
Good.
Do you want to try?
What? No, not with you here.
I'll leave.
No, I mean, you don't have to.
I can stand over there. Leave you alone.
She takes steps backwards away from the phone, each step accompanied by a number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead. You can just let me know when you're done.
I don't think so.
Why not?
This is fucked up. People shouldn't do this. It's weird and it doesn't help.
And yet you're here. Why?
You just gotta know everything, don't you?
I'm a curious person, by nature, I guess. Are you going to tell me?
I don't know.
Come on. What harm can it do?
All right.
The young person takes a .45 caliber handgun out of their jacket. Although they don't point it at her, they easily could.
That answer your question?
What kind of gun is that?
Serious?
I'm a middle-aged woman, alone in the desert with someone holding a gun. Why wouldn't I be serious?
It's a .45 caliber, a ghost gun.
Oh, that's a little ominous. What makes it a ghost gun?
Parts are bought separately.
Through the mail?
Sometimes.
So does that mean no serial numbers?
You know a thing or two, don't you?
My husband, he was an enthusiast.
Uh-huh.
He was so angry when I took his guns away from him. Then eventually he forgot he ever had them. I guess there's that.
Yeah.
You planning on doing something with it?
You mean, am I going to shoot you?
That did cross my mind.
No. I'm not going to shoot you.
Then would you mind putting it back in your pocket?
Okay.
Great. Let's make that a reality, huh? Thank you. I respect your right to carry a weapon. It's a dangerous world.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're not going to, do you mind if I...
Go ahead.
Well then, here goes.
As she starts toward the phone, sounds of an approaching car, the usual routine, several doors opening and closing, effectively stopping the middle-aged woman from actually going into the booth. The mother, boy, and girl enter. Everyone is surprised.
Wow. There's a line.